Under the starlit sky of Lake Manatee, Eric Merda swam, seeking solace and clarity. Life had not been kind. Addiction, brushes with the law, street fights, each chapter behind him had left scars. But that night, the calm waters felt almost healing, a brief reprieve from his troubled past. As he backstroked across the glassy lake, a strange sensation crept in, an instinct, almost primal, told him he wasn't alone. He stopped, treading water, and turned his head. That's when he saw it. Just feet away, two reptilian eyes breaking the surface, locked on him. Before he could shout or swim away, the alligator surged forward. In an instant, its massive jaws clamped around his right arm. It pulled him under with terrifying force. The death roll began. Violent spinning meant to rip flesh from bone. Pain exploded through his body. Through sheer will, Eric fought to the surface, screaming underwater until he finally broke free, but not before the creature severed his arm at the forearm. He kicked and thrashed his way to shore, vision swimming from pain and blood loss, gasping for air. Once on land, he collapsed, but the fight was far from over. Eric pulled himself deeper into the Florida brush, away from the water's edge. Drenched in sweat and blood, his body screamed for rest, but adrenaline forced him onward. With only one arm and no supplies, he plunged into the unforgiving swamp. Every step forward was a nightmare. Thick vines, sharp thorns, insects feasting on his wounds. The heat was punishing. His tongue swelled from thirst. His head throbbed. He began to talk to himself, first for focus, then out of desperation. He drank from muddy puddles, uncertain if they'd poison him. He tried to sleep, but the sounds of nearby animals kept him alert and paranoid. Raccoons, snakes, the rustle of wild boars. And always, the fear that another gator might be stalking him. The sun burned his skin by day. The cold bit at night. 3 days passed this way. 3 endless, feverish days of stumbling, crawling, and praying. Through it all, one image stayed sharp in his mind: his children. He didn't want them to grow up hearing he died in a swamp, forgotten and alone. By day 3, Eric was a shell of himself, weak, disoriented, barely standing. That's when he spotted a path, faint but real. Hope stirred. He followed it, feet dragging through muck, vision swimming. Suddenly, in a clearing, he saw someone, a figure, a person. Help. The stranger immediately called for emergency services. Eric was airlifted to a hospital, barely clinging to life. Surgeons worked around the clock to save what remained of his arm and treat infections. The physical wounds were brutal, but the emotional toll was deeper. Recovery was long. There were days he doubted he could walk again, let alone live with one arm. But over time, with therapy, support, and unyielding grit, he began to rebuild. Today, Eric speaks openly about that ordeal, not for pity, but to remind others of what's possible when you refuse to give up. He calls it his trial, his second chance. The swamp didn't defeat him. It redefined him.